My name is Dijon, aka One Man, One Life.
And I'm DeAndre, aka Draco Wild.
And today we'll be discussing episode 8 of So You Think You Can Dance, top 18 performance plus elimination.
Yeah.
So, sit back, relax, and enjoy our tea sipping discussion of So You Think You Can Dance. Alright, and the guest judge of the episode was Misty Copeland.
Yay! I love her.
We love Misty. She's good. She knows what she's talking about. She critiques dance. She's a ballerina, so of course she knows what she's talking about. And I just love her. Nigel and Mary switched places this week, which was kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not like... It's not a problem. It's just they just switched it up randomly.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm guessing because they announced that Misty Copeland's going to be back next week as well. So I wonder if they're like trying to like see if this is a
good fit.
Yeah, because like it seems like they want to bring her in for a more permanent basis.
Which I'm all here for.
Yeah. And I don't know. Like I think she brings a lot of good, positive, constructive feedback. So I think it'll be good for them.
Which is needed.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, as much as I love like various, celebrity guest judges, it's nice for the dancers to get real critiques about making sure they're focusing on this or that while they're dancing. It makes them a better dancer. Okay, so the first we have a group number. The song was How It's Done by District 78. Really great, I love them. The choreographers was Farside and Crystal Moraz from the Academy of Villains. It's a crew that will be dancing later on in the season.
Yeah, it's part of the Justin Bieber dance battle thing.
Which I don't really know how this is going to play out, but
who knows?
whatever. We'll see how this goes. So you think you dance? How do you think about the group number?
I really enjoyed it. It was a very different routine. Like it was very intriguing, very interesting. Like I felt like it was such a great group routine. Like I feel like most group routines, like there's one person that stands out more. Like it. I just felt like
showcase one person or group, little group more. Yeah.
And with this one, I just felt like they used everybody, and like everybody was in it, and everybody was really great in it. Yeah. I mean, although I had one person that stood out to me.
Well, we kind of was watching the same person.
Yeah, Valerie.
Only because Valerie.
Yeah, she was amazing. Like,
first of all, she was the Black Queen.
Yeah.
Which was interesting because she's always so bubbly, but she was a Black Queen. She looked like Helena Bonham Carter and Alice in Wonderland, which was great, and she served. I don't know.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun to watch her. Yeah. Simply put.
Yeah.
So it was a great number. I really enjoyed it, and I'm kind of anxious to see what the Academy of Villains are going to do if this is the choreography they're giving us. So I'm ready. Okay, so up next we're going to talk about the bottom 3 guys and girls. Alright, so the bottom 3 guys and girls were announced, and they are Jordan, Emily, and Bridget. The bottom 3 guys are Stanley, Teddy, and Emilio. So
it wasn't very surprising, I don't think. With Jordan, it just seems like America just couldn't connect with her.
Okay, I personally love Jordan.
And I do too. I feel like her personality, like, of all the girls, like,
she has the strongest personality.
Yeah, I really...
besides, not counting Valerie.
Yeah.
I mean, Valerie has a more radiating personality, but Jordan's just hilarious.
Yeah, she's very, like, I don't know, laid back, but shit, like, it was a very...
She's chill, but actively chill.
Yeah, exactly, but I just feel like, I don't know, for some reason, she didn't really connect with the audience, and they even, when she danced later on, which we'll discuss later, they even brought up the fact that they just couldn't connect with her, and they couldn't put their finger on why. With the other other people. Oh, Stanley, they like tore apart his dance.
Yeah.
So from last week. So it just
Marlene, which I actually love Marlene in the dance more than him. So for her to go, I was kind of upset. However, I think it's very interesting that both hip hop dances of last week are in the bottom, and they were both safe the week before. And it kind of goes to show you what a lame hip hop can really do for your career.
It really career strong. So you think you can dance career? Yes.
That's what I was talking about.
But it's clear that hip hop is make or break. A good hip hop can send you through for several weeks.
But
bad hip hop
can send you home
next week. So,
okay.
Yeah. So,
yeah. And I'm sorry, both of the hip hop performances were whack. They were horrible. I'm sorry. I have to say it. It just didn't feel like they meant anything. There was nothing that happened that was either creative or exciting or new or different. It was all kind of the same mess that we've seen prior, but done better.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to the first dance of the night, and that is Jackie and Zach doing a hip-hop Stay With Me by Sam Smith, and the choreographers is Keone and Mary Madrid. I was very impressed by Jackie and Zach, but Jackie specifically, because she's a ballerina, and I just felt like she was in it the entire time.
Yeah, I agree. Jackie, before coming in, because we hadn't heard of her, like they didn't really follow her story or whatever. Jackie, I was just like, oh, I don't know, like I like Jordan better, like of the ballerinas, and then like she's done two very
really
strong
good
members,
Yeah.
and she impressed both times. Unlike others who I'll discuss again later, but she's been very consistent, and I just have to I have to tip my hat.
Okay, sidebar. This whole Jackie and Rudy thing has got to stop. This show means I don't care about.
Over it already.
Net.
It's very Hunger Games.
Yeah, it's very Hunger Games.
Like we need to get you some ratchet.
Exactly. So Rita, you would die. You can get plucked off. So. Okay, Katniss, let's kiss Peter.
Play up for the sponsors.
Yes, it's very. It's so where everyone now is like, okay, you have these two people who are supposed to be in love with each other, and we're supposed to hyping this up, and they just feel like, well, okay, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, and I feel like
it's very catchy fire, actually, to be exact.
And it's very much to the detriment of their partners. Because,
yeah, it is.
Like for I mean, I guess we'll talk about it more later or not. But while boy named Rudy and Tanisha were getting their critique. 75% of it was about the showman. Yeah, so it was like, and Tanisha was kind of like, like
that was all she was doing the entire time.
Yeah, so it's
I do want to bring up that I was happy that Keone and Mary got a chance to come back because their hip hop last year with Jenna and Tucker wasn't all that great, and it was only because the hip hop they did was specifically for Keone and Mary because they did it on YouTube. It was a very popular dance they did on YouTube, and the producers wanted that particular dance to be done again. So when you have something that's tailor-made for you and your wife, and then you give it to someone else who aren't hip-hop dancers,
like, it's like a ballroom dancer and a contemporary dancer.
Like, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So
Zach is great.
Yes, Zach is really good. Actually, he's really strong. There's never a time anymore where I'm like, I don't know if Zach is going to pull this off. Like, I know that he's going to bring it. So that's a good thing, actually. Up next, we have Jordan and Marquette dancing a contemporary to Disappear demo version by Mickey Echo by Dee Caspary.
Okay, so again, Jordan, I'm a big fan of. She's technically really sound.
Yeah.
But as much as I want to like her and want to love her, I can see what the judges were saying as far as like being relatable or being like open. I feel like
as a dancer, she's not open
Yeah.
as much as the others are.
Others are, yeah, and I feel like that might be her ballet training, like
Yeah.
possibly coming in the way of blocking that. I don't know what it is, because I mean, even when she got sent home, when she was eliminated, you saw her vulnerability. So,
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't know. I don't know what it was gonna make her push through. So, but again, danced beautifully. But I can see what the judges were saying as far as like not being able to connect with her. Marquette. Like he was there, and
I think Marquette's a strong overall dancer, like overall, not just in his style but other styles. But at the same time, I never watch him dance, like him specifically. I'm always looking at someone else. I thought the piece was nice. However, I didn't understand the whole them disappearing. Like that was the premise of the dance,
but see,
but I
don't
kind
know.
of felt like that was an afterthought.
I don't know if that was the premise of the dance. Like I don't know.
That's what DiCaprio said.
Oh, okay. Well, then yeah, well, sure.
I'm just saying, if you're going to say it's about them disappearing, then I kind of want to see them attempting to disappear, and I didn't get that. If it's not about that, just don't say it. It was a lovely piece. It was just that was the one thing I was like, how are they trying to disappear? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's outside our business.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, next we have Jessica and Stanley doing a jazz to Funkier Than a Mosquito's Tweeter.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't even know what a tweeter is. I don't want to know what a tweeter is. By Nick Acosta. It was a Tice Diorio piece. Jazz piece. What do you think about that?
Well, okay, so I'm not the biggest Tice fan.
Me
He's
neither.
done a couple things that I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
But this was kind of like
Your standard Tice piece.
which is like very middle of the road.
But we will discuss later another Tice piece that was a much better.
Yeah. I just kind of was about this routine. Jessica, like, she started off so strong with that dance with Ricky.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's because what did she get last week? What was her routine?
It was a West Coast swing.
Ah, okay. So I don't know if it's the fact that she's just not given, like, or her. I don't know. Like the
I think
routines
I know
she's been
what
getting,
it
like,
is.
have been very tough for her. So like, I don't know why I'm not enjoying her as much as I want to. Stanley, I just never connected to him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's kind of the problem with me too. Like I never connected with Stanley at all, and I wanted to because he's a great dancer. He could hit air and fly for like 10 minutes
which we
straight.
heard the judges say like 100
100
times.
times because it's true.
Yeah.
Like when he gets up there, it's like wow, and then legs and his legs for days, and like the whole thing. I can see what Nigel was talking about with his core. He is very like loosey goosey in the core, but other than that, like he can like catch air. But I just never really connected with him as a dancer, and I wanted to, but I just haven't really done that. With Jessica, I just feel like she's a jazz dancer, and from my understanding of jazz dance, especially when you're young, the whole thing is that you're pulling face, like the entire time. Like you're pulling face, and they keep bringing up the fact that she doesn't have to do that much for her face because she's enough. But when you grow up pulling face, your entire dance career thus far, it's hard to turn that off. And so last week she has a West Coast swing, which is all face, pulling face, and this time she has a jazz, which is like a jazzy jazz. So she's pulling face again. Now I rewatched it. It wasn't like she was pulling a lot of face. I mean, she was pulling face, but it didn't throw me out.
It didn't throw me out either. But there were like there's a difference between performing and like having the face come naturally. There was a couple times where I just knew that it wasn't like...
Yeah, there was a face being pulled?
Yeah, that it was like not natural. Like, because like even the next dance, there was faces given, but like as far as like, it was just like, okay, why are you making that face there?
Yeah, okay. I see what you're talking about. But I feel like she is better used when she has to be stripped of all of that jazzness. And that's what Sonya did that first week. It was very quiet and still, and she had to keep this serene face the entire time, and that's when we really saw her
dance.
because she had to do away with all of that because it was the piece. When it's all funky and fun, it's easy for her to creep into that jazz, like all the time. So
yeah, and I mean, I think she's gonna be in danger. This is her second partner who's going home.
She is kind of a kiss of death.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see.
She's gonna be getting Marquette next week too.
Which I'm almost certain
he's going his way out too.
Yeah, so.
I do kind of feel like the audience like him more than the judges, though.
Yeah, possibly. We'll see.
Possibly, but yeah, we'll see.
Okay,
up next we have Bridget and Emilio doing a jive to Happy. But for real, I am so over this song. But Anya and Pasha did it!
Yay! Anya and Pasha. Yeah. Pasha is my original Russian bae.
We would talk about these baes and but yes. And Anya is just like butter. And when they two dance, Anya and Pasha is just like magic.
Yeah, it's so magical, and like you can see their style infused into the dance. Like it was very clear that this was Pasha. And
there were very signature Pasha and Anya moves. In that entire piece, which is great.
Yeah, which is fantastic, especially like Bridget and Emilio picking it up and able to perform.
Yeah.
Like to a level that is very. Words are failing me right now. Yikes. Like it was very, very entertaining.
Very entertaining. And I guess it also shows how you can have your signature and you can have your style and have a dance that's clearly you, but also tailored for, the dancers who are going to be performing this dance. I mean, because last week they had a problem with Benji's West Coast Swing because it was clearly a Benji and Heidi type of, and if you know what we're talking about, season 2, Benji and Heidi were cousins and they were West Coast Swingers and they were actually able to perform West Coast Swing, I think, once on this show.
Well, I don't know if they actually performed it on the show. I know they performed it in Vegas.
In Vegas, and that was at one of the most memorable moments. But judging by last week, they had a problem with it because it was very Benji. Like, just take out Nick, place in Benji, take out Jessica, put in Heidi, and it was like the face, the outfits, like the entire thing was them. And this week, Anya Pasha was able to like work around. I mean, because Emilia's a hip hop dancer.
Which I was really impressed with Emilio. Like, Mary came for him about his technique, which I just feel like they're just so choosy of, like,
who they critique, and who they don't.
Yeah, wishy-washy on their critiques of the technique. Last year, I don't remember her, like, if, boy who won last year? Fiction, like, when
Nigel said it. He was like, Fiction never pointed his toes.
Yeah, exactly.
Not once. And they never brought it up.
I feel like, I mean, they brought up other things with him, but, like, I feel like in ballroom they were very, like, okay, like, we understand that you're not a ballroom dancer, so great job. But they were like, oh, you have to get those flicks, like, you have to do this, and it's like, I was impressed. I didn't want to.
I was very impressed, too, because he kind of had, like, a Pasha flair to him, like, his own version of what Pasha would do in a jive. So I was impressed with him. And I have never been the one to be a Bridget fan, really, at all. Like, she still hasn't really pulled me in just yet. But she kind of did it in this dance.
Yeah, Bridget is very... I like her.
Yeah.
I do like her. And I just say for this season, I like almost everybody.
Yeah, I like everyone. Yeah. It's just some people I like a little bit more because they're kind of drawing me in, and some people are taking me by surprise, like Jackie, who I kind of didn't really see it for in the beginning, but now she's like really strong. She's really bringing it, and I see why she's on the show.
Yeah, she's I think Jackie's in my at least top 4 girls.
Yeah, definitely. And I did not think I was going to say that at all. So that's great for her. But yeah, the dance was great. I'm just over the song Happy. I kind of just wanted to just die.
Yeah. I'm glad. Let's just look at it this way. It's out of the way. Like nobody else can use that song. So
and also a good thing for people to vote because they know that song still. So it was good for Anya and Pasha to use that song. Okay, next we have Emily and Teddy do a contemporary to Namikita Pa by Nina Simone, and it's a Thai stereo piece. Now, first, I just have to say, Nina freaking Simone, and I'm done.
She's amazing.
I'm done.
Yeah, she was a very such a great talent, and so like just her voice is so expressive, and so she captured so many emotions, and
like at one moment.
Yeah, at one time, like
one moment to one moment, it's just amazing. But to the dance.
To the dancing.
This is actually my favorite Tice piece because I've never been a huge Tice fan. Even his contemporary, even like the memorable dance pieces by Tice, I still didn't really care for because it kind of seemed, I don't know, I don't want to say full of themselves because that's not what I'm trying to say. But I kind of, it just didn't, it rubbed me the wrong way.
I feel like Tice never, like there's nothing ever really memorable about his dances, really. Like the breast cancer dance, like I know that she was wearing a scarf, I know what they were wearing, but I don't really remember anything that happened at that dance.
I just remember like a whole.
Yeah, like that she's like sitting on his shoulder or something like that.
No, like he like lifted her up like that, and she was like this.
Oh,
like I remember
like that. Yeah, it's like one or two moments, and it's like nothing very unique.
Yeah, unique
about it. My favorite Tice piece is actually the one that Sasha and Kent, was it Sasha and Kent that did it? Like, I think that's my favorite. The one with the wall.
That's one of my tops, but I just think this was just so stripped.
Yeah.
So unlike Tice,
it was really
that it was really good. Teddy surprised me. We're gonna get to Emily later in a few seconds, but I just want to specifically give Teddy a shout out because he kind of was. He was there. Like he works. You can tell that he worked really hard to get this piece in. Like from the way he was shaping his body to remembering to point his toes, like the whole thing. He was like, he was very hyper aware of what he was doing in a great way.
I mean, I give him credit as well. He doesn't do it for me. It's him and someone else, and I think we're close to them.
Yeah.
But like he just doesn't. I just don't care. Like, and I can see that he did it well. I can see that, and I commend him for it because I know that that's not his style. So it's just like, that's impressive. I just don't care.
Okay. I mean, to each his own. But Emily was phenomenal.
She was really good, but she's been very inconsistent. I don't know what.
No, see, I think I know where it is. I even wrote it in my notes. I said Emily is best when she's given something ugly to do. When her movements are ugly or not the norm, when she's stripped of stuff to like jazz up, even though she's not a jazz dancer, that's when you see who she is. Because the first week she had contemporary with
Casey.
Yeah, and it was a Travis piece. And the movements she was doing were very kind of not pretty. And even in this piece, most of the dance was her not being pretty. And I just feel like she shines more when her body is placed in different positions because she has to think about those positions and she can't think about her face. So everything is pouring out of her face. Judging from like last week when she had hip hop, which was very like
oh god. Like, I mean, after this dance, that hip hop sandwich in between these two dances really shows you how bad that hip hop was.
It was terrible.
Yeah, especially her, and it was bad. Like she was just not she was so out of her comfort zone and out of place. It was just uncomfortable all around. Those pants, everything.
the whole thing, the song, that was last week. This is this week. Mama was amazing, and that's all we have to say.
She was really good.
I hope that she gets another piece where she can showcase just how talented and versatile she is. I mean, because unfortunately it was two contemporaries that we really saw her. Hopefully she gets like something like a ballroom or something. She's able to also bring
something else. Because like the one thing outside of her style, I was not a fan of at all.
At all. And I'm not even sure it was entirely her
fault.
She had a hand in it.
She played a part.
Yeah, she had a hand in it.
And just a side note, Misty Copeland saying that her body moved very, like, it spoke French.
Yeah.
Her body. It was very clear.
We love Misty.
Oh God, Misty's so amazing. That was such a spot on
Yeah.
note.
He's like, do you speak French, Emily? Well, your
Body
body does.
does.
Alright, you know what? Let me just stop. Okay. Up next, we have Brooklyn and Casey doing a jazz by Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Michael Bublé. I'll call him Bubbly. So yeah, I thought it was cute. And ultimately, it was a Bonnie story piece. So she's always very cute to me, and that's pretty much it. Like, there's never a Bonnie story piece I'm like, oh, that was a good piece. It's always very, like, cute. It's always very up here. But the one thing I did pull away from is just how amazing Casey is as a dancer. Because I didn't really see it at first. I just thought he was in because he was, like, a cutesy kind of dancer. But no, he can actually really dance. And I think she showcased just how good he is.
He reminds me a lot. I think I mentioned this when we were talking about the show last week. He reminds me of Robert, like how Robert was. I was not a fan of Robert when he first showed up. Like when he did that.
I was rooting for Robert in the first week, and he was pulling a lot of fights. It was throwing me out.
Yeah, like he did that Afro jazz, and it was just like, oh God. There was so much happening.
Yeah, it was a lot to take in.
Yeah.
And even the next week after that, he was still kind of pulling plays. And
Okay.
it wasn't until he was in the bottom that he was like, oh, hell.
Yeah.
And then from
figure it out.
Yeah,
he
there.
just kind of like centered himself and was able to be like, okay, breathe.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here, I'm excited, but let's actually like focus on what the task at hand.
Yeah.
With Casey, like, he's very, 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 very good. Like, some of the stuff that Bonnie had him do was very insane.
Ouch.
But, I don't know, there's something about him that just reads very young. Like,
yeah, young dancer. Yeah. I mean, he's 19, so.
I know, but I don't think Ricky's that much older.
Ricky, I think, is 18.
See? And Ricky dances like a man.
But when you think about, like, the scope of dancers, it's always one Ricky out of, like,
I know,
50 other
but
dancers around the same age.
I'm just saying, like, there's tons of, like, just because he's 19 doesn't mean he can't dance maturely. Like, I've seen tons of 19-year-olds dance maturely.
But I just feel like what I'm saying is there's, like, one out of many.
But, like, he's also a good dancer.
I know.
I need him to mature a little bit more.
Well, that was the same critique they gave with, Brooklyn.
And Brooklyn, same problem. Like, even worse, because, like, sadly, Brooklyn's out of her style, even though she was like, oh, I've been trained in this, and Nigel was like, oh, okay, like, if you trained in it, it should have been better. Like, so, like...
I think she shouldn't have said
no,
that.
She shouldn't.
I think I know what she was saying, that she has dabbled in it, and not trained, because trained is a different story.
Yeah.
Trained means you've been here for minutes.
Yeah. But
even a year isn't enough training to get technique down.
This pairing is like the young bucks, like the young kids at the table, and I just don't. They leave me feeling cold.
Okay. I'm optimistic about Casey now, because I really wasn't looking for Casey at all the entire time.
He does it, but because I don't want to be hypocritical, because I like him, I feel, but I just like him less than mostly everybody.
Okay, fair enough. On to the next dance, we have Valerie and Ricky doing a Viennese waltz to I Won't Give Up by Jason Mraz. It was a Lacey Schwimmer piece.
It was I just felt like for a Viennese waltz, it was very entertaining. Like, it was very...
Viennese waltzes can be very boring. Especially by the choice of music. And this one, and I think it's not just the fact that it was Lacey who did it, and not just the fact it was a song, and not just the fact because the dancers that were dancing it. I think it was all of it together. And I just had a big smile on my face the entire time.
It was so, like, her dress.
Yeah.
Was
Valerie's dress was like dancing for itself.
Yeah. Like it was the third member of dance. Yeah. So it was very entertaining. I could see what Mary was talking about coming for Ricky's technique because I can tell that it was like he was doing some things in there that was like not
what he usually
not what needs to be done in the Viennese waltz. But that pair is just gonna be like they're gonna be hard to beat. I feel
it is because I feel like out of all the dancers, actually, I think Valerie. We talked about this last night, but I think Valerie is the best actress out of everyone on that stage. She may not be the best technician, but she can sell a dance.
She's gonna like show out. Like, and that was shown in Vegas week when they were like, we are not ballroom dancers. we're going to act like it. We are posturing on you. We are in the posture on Bible. Yeah. So it's like she whatever you call her to do, she's gonna
do it.
Yeah. So that's what I really
and sell it.
Yeah.
She's gonna do it and sell it.
I really commend her for that.
And I was saying that even though Ricky wasn't perfect this week, as far as technique is concerned, he's still amazing. He's still like it's still kind of perfection, even though it's not perfect.
No.
I mean, like
he can he can literally just sit there and move his hands.
Which kind of sucks because he's a technician and he has a personality, so it's like what to do.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
it's really gonna be tough to beat him. Like there's one person that I feel like has a chance of beating him, and I'm a little sad about that. I don't dislike this guy. He comes up a little later, but I feel like it's gonna be between those two.
Okay. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I have stuff to say. Anyway, up next we have Dance 8, and it's going to be Carly and Serge doing a hip-hop piece.
To See Now by Young Money.
Now by Young Money featuring Tyga and Nicki Minaj. And the Wang is a Luther Brown piece, and I simply put, I didn't like it.
That's putting it, like, really softly.
Yeah, I didn't like it. And they did their best. I think Carly was better as far as, like, getting into the dance. But Serge worked really hard, you can tell. But it was just, it was stupid.
I think it's one of the worst hip-hops I've seen. There were, one of, it's not the worst. There's been worse. There have been worse.
Of the season, I will give you that one. But there has been clunkers throughout these years.
This was bad. Like
I'm not saying it was good by any stretch of the imagination.
There was like a count of 8.
No, it was 24 counts.
There was like what? Like what? What is that? They were supposed to be baseball bats? Is that what we decided that they were trying to be?
No, they weren't trying to be baseball bats. They were mimicking a baseball bat when Nicki said something about a baseball bat. Like they were holding a baseball bat.
God.
I know, it's like, it's lame. It's lame, I'm sorry.
Oh God, it was so bad.
It was terrible.
And what makes me angry is that Nigel saw, he was like,
oh my God, okay,
like,
go ahead.
You danced it well, and you guys put work into it, but I don't feel like that dance is gonna, like, get people to vote for you. Which is true, because it sucked. Like, he needed to just go ahead and say, you need to step it up. Both hip-hop couples from last week were in the bottom this week.
The bottom. And they were safe the week before. I'm trying to tell you, they were safe.
And this crap, like this See Now crap,
it's going to, it's See Now. Yeah, it's going to send them home.
It's just not good.
Well, that's going to send them home, but I'm pretty sure they are up for elimination.
Yeah, they're going to be in the bottom. And that's so, it sucks because it's like, Serge is working his butt off. And
BG.
I know, and because we didn't mention this, but Serge is my new Russian bae.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so passionate about this because he pulled this terrible dance, and I just want more. I need for Nigel to just have a come to Jesus meeting with his hip hop choreographers and just say, it
makes me angry because Nigel has no problem coming for other choreographers. Mm-hmm. He has come for Benji. He has come for Dimitri. He's come for
Spencer.
Just this season. Not saying Dimitri because he hasn't done a dance
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
But last season, he's come for many a choreographer about their choreography, and rightfully so for what he was saying. But he just refuses to own up when the hip hop is not good.
And I'm not saying I'm a hip hop dancer aficionado.
No.
I'm just like, I could clear, like, especially, we saw a dance earlier in the night that was like so much better.
Yes, it was simple, it was clean, it was easy, it was intricate, but it was interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't like groundbreaking, like it wasn't
By
like,
the slightest.
yeah, but it was good.
Yes,
It was,
I remember that dance.
Yeah.
I don't remember half of what's going on in.
I just remember the
Dance.
back, like literally them like shifting side to side for.
And they were supposed to be skeletons. It was okay.
Yeah,
If
we
you want to
were
have
wrong.
high concept, then do it.
Let's.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just move on.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't talked about Carly.
Oh.
Carly did it great.
Yeah, you said
yeah.
she said she got it.
But like, I just haven't connected with Carly at all. I have no idea who she
understand.
is.
Yeah, I understand. I thought she was gonna give me Go Toros. I thought it was gonna be very Bring It On, and it wasn't. And
No.
that was good.
He probably would have better luck if he went with like a Go Toros kind of cheerleading, because they talked about how she was a dancer at, like in the dance
But
team
not
at her,
cheerleader.
but not cheerleader at her college.
High school.
It was high school.
I think so.
I thought it was university.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter at all. Okay, moving on to the last dance of the night. We have Tanisha and Rudy doing a Broadway to Sing, Sing, Sing Part 2 by Bob Fosse. And Warren Carlisle is the choreographer. New choreographer, actually. To So You Think You Dance. Great number. Tashina is... Tanisha. I call that girl so many other names. I mean, because, I'm sorry, she is Caucasian and she has a ethnic sounding name.
Mhm.
So it's a little distracting. Anyway, Tanisha is a beast. And clearly, this girl is not just a ballroom dancer. And that's all I'm saying about that.
Yeah, Tanisha's a beast. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my note. Like
Yeah.
she's really, really good. She's such a strong performer. Like of all the girls, I would have to say she's the strongest performer.
Yeah.
Like Valerie, it's between her and Valerie as far as like performance value goes. Like just actually like standing out. Like
Yes.
I feel like a lot of other dancers
They're
like
pretty.
not necessarily just pretty, but like they go into the dance and like they kind of become just figures of the dance, which is a good thing. But I feel like for these purposes of So You Think You Can Dance, there has to be like a mixture of both, of you like blending into the dance, but being like, oh, look at Tanisha doing so great blending into the dance. You know? Like I just feel like for the majority of the other dancers, it's just like, oh, that girl's doing okay. What's her name again?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So, yeah, and really...
And let's just say this. Anytime there's a crowd scene, like a group number, I always can pinpoint where Tanisha and Valerie is, as far as the girls are concerned. Always.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, maybe it's possible that of the girls, like, they have the most specific looks as well, because, like, a lot of the girls have very similar...
Same brunette, kind of, and even blonde hair, but with them somehow, it's just, it's easy for me to pinpoint where they are.
Rudy... Okay.
Rudy was really good in this, in this
he
piece.
was really, really good.
Yeah.
He made me like him more.
Yes.
As far as a dancer goes, I'm gonna need them to chill, though.
Yeah.
I need them to chill on him. Okay. There's a point where, in this dance, where he has to lift his leg and, like, kick. And it was
Hold his leg.
Yeah, hold his leg?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very stiff, very labored, very not good.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't say not good. It was a struggle for him to do that.
Yeah, and it was clearly a struggle.
Yeah.
And not to take away from the rest of the performance because it was good.
Yeah.
But I just
any other dance they would have clocked.
They would like that would have been the first thing that came out of their mouth. But he's like, oh, you just have such a strong personality. I don't care about your technique.
Yeah.
And
They always like, oh, that was like. that technique was all that great. But girl, like,
Yeah,
your performance
yeah.
was like outstanding.
Yeah, they slide that through, but it's like they clearly have favorites.
Yes.
And that really bugs me.
Mhm.
Like, I can already tell this boy is gonna make it to top 4.
Yeah, at least,
At
at the
least
very
top 4.
least, top 6.
Yeah,
at the very least.
top 6, and it's just like,
Especially with all the showmance thing that's going on with him and Jackie, which really needs to see some
yeah,
of this.
and it's just like, it's top 18. I shouldn't know what, like, I shouldn't see the producers like,
hands.
yeah,
Like I literally see them like,
we're singing,
let's crank that up, let's dial that
we're
down.
singing behind the curtain, and it's just like they're being very heavy-handed.
Yes.
This season.
This season
feel.
especially.
Maybe because it was just a shortened time span.
Maybe.
So like they couldn't like do it like authentically. So now they're like literally being like,
yeah,
okay,
because
this is who you need to vote for. We're gonna spend time with them. We're gonna give them longer intro pieces. Like, and I feel like some of the dances they don't care about, their intro pieces went by like that.
Yes.
And for like him and Jackie, it was like this whole grandiose.
And again, we never really talked about their partners. It was always them and their romance with each other. Even after the talkbacks, after they finish their dance and their pieces, it's always like,
yeah, what about that? Like,
and no shade to like Kat. She's just doing her job.
Yeah, the producers like ask about that.
Yeah,
probably, and like with to me, like I can't even remember what Zach's was. Oh, he's a swimmer. Like, it was like 20, like not even 20, like 10 seconds of him like in a pool. And like it's like,
but he's not going after. He's not training for the Olympics.
Like,
that's it.
Yeah. And like Tanisha was like, "Oh, do you think she has a big family? No,
she's
she
a
has
huge
really big family."
But she's from Utah, so it's like that's probably a small family.
Yeah, we knew this about Tanisha. Like we said, like anyway. That's not neither here nor there, and outside of our business.
Outside of our business.
Exactly.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the actual eliminated contestants, and this week Jordan and Stanley were eliminated. Kind of sucks.
It does. Jordan was one of my favorite girls just because of like I love listening to her talk like off the floor.
Yeah.
So like that's sad.
Yeah.
But
the other girls did kind of bring it, and I'm kind of actually saddened that they don't have them doing solos this year, at least. Now, because I'm pretty sure in the top 10 they may have them do solos.
Yeah, because they're gonna need to fill time somehow. Yeah.
But I'm kind of like the solos were actually. I actually liked the solos because it actually felt like the dancers were dancing for their life, and especially
even if the judges had already made up their mind, it was just like, okay, this is what I had to offer. I wasn't able to show this on the show, but like here it is.
Yeah. And sometimes I think it actually saved the dancer because they were like, the judge was like, okay, it's time for you to go, and then they like ran around that stage, and the judge was like, darn it, like I was ready to send you home, but
like,
you literally
I'll never forget, it was season
3.
And there was this female dancer named Shauna.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I did not like her.
I didn't care for Shauna at all. But I have to give 10 for 10 are properly due. Mama went across that stage.
She was at the bottom and she had to dance for her life. And it was like one of like the most memorable dance for your life. Because she was literally
going home. Yeah, she was going home.
Yeah, it was like a given that she was going home. And she like
she covered that stage.
And so they sent someone else home. And she stayed for maybe another week or two.
Yeah.
So, like, it just shows, like, how important that's for
your life are. I mean, they really are important. So I kind of hope they bring them back. I mean, the whole crew stuff and bringing in, like, singers.
Which, by the way, A Great Big World singing Say Something. No, so you think you can dance. It's a little.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the producer was like,
It's like it's a little late. Like it's a
little.
We missed the train. What's great is that they were the ones that introduced that to the masses because Christina Aguilera saw So You Think You Can Dance and heard the song and wanted to do a duet with A Great Big World. At least that's what I heard. Forgive me if
don't quote us.
Yeah. But like that was last year.
Yeah, last year.
It's way late. Way late.
It's done. So it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's done.
So I was just I'm excited about that. So if we could have just had Dance for Your Life instead of that performance, that would have been better. But
Whatever.
That's neither here nor there. And Stanley is just like, oh,
Yeah.
oh well.
I haven't had a chance to connect with them yet, so it was kind of like, okay, well, he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like a really big kind of. I didn't shed a tear.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a little tear caught in my eye with Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't fall.
Mhm.
It was just like caught in my
Mhm.
eye. So that's our episode for today. Our recap of So You Think You Can Dance.
If you got this
episode
far,
8.
thank you.
Thank you. Comment at the bottom. Hashtag sorry. If you made it this far. Okay. So we will be back next week with a new episode recapping So You Think You Can Dance.
And maybe another video.
Possibly.
Possibly. You never know.
You never know.
But I said possibly.
We're doing something. Okay, don't quote us.
Yeah.
Don't be like, we did a video.
If
We
you
said
guys can.
possibly. It's a possibility. Alright, so see you guys later.